Hey, Butch.
Howdy, Bob.
What's happening with transit these days?
Well, transit, unfortunately, is not getting the support it needs, and as you just heard a while ago, we was trying to get support from one of our leading businessmen, and he told us no.
Right. That it wasn't part of his priority, and all the time we get transits getting cut and lost and other things, yeah.
And that's basically been the story for about the last 40 years, and the services has gone in one direction, and that has been backward.
Right. I believe I heard you say sometime back how many routes we've lost over the last 20 years or 10 years or something. Do you remember what that might be?
We've lost about half of them in the last 40 years. In fact, we had a transit director that was the best way he saw to save money was to cut routes, and it didn't matter what it done to the quality of life and to the transit riders.
Right. Well, how do you use the transit system?
Well, I use it almost daily. I use it to get to where I need to go when I need to be there, if it will work in my favor.
For sure. I noticed you got on an A's hat. You enjoy baseball?
Oh, the ballpark's my church.
All right. And can you get to get to the ballpark on the transit?
No, if I'm going to go to the ballpark, I usually have to end up walking about 40 miles, 20 miles to the ballpark and 20 miles back home after the game.
How often do you walk that?
Oh, when I was younger, I'd done it a few times, but that's just a little too hard on the shoulder body.
Right, for sure. Well, what kind of transit rider organizations are you involved in to work with getting better transit?
The people are terrific, but they all come to the meetings in the same way, and that's driving in their cars. And to find out what transit's all about, they'll have to ask somebody like me, because they don't know what riding the bus was like in the 50s or the 60s or the 70s. They have to ask bus riders what that was like, because at one time we had a magnificent system. It wasn't always in the dumps like it is now.
Right.
What we really need here in Birmingham is a transit organization of riders to do their own speaking for themselves and make their own news and bring their own voice to the force and be their own power, and make these businessmen that told these people like us no, make them come out to the public and tell the bus riders no.
What do you think it'd take to get the bus riders engaged that way?
That is one answer. I believe if it could get rolling, it would work. I don't know what the spark to get it going, what that would take.
When would the group have to meet to be able to include all the...
That's the problem. The people who are now using it are the most dependent of the bus riders. They have no other way of getting anywhere except for the bus itself, and most of them are usually going to work, and they depend on that bus to get them to work and back home. Like I was talking about, I was walking to the ballpark to the game and walking back because there was no service. So that's what they're doing. They're taking that bus to work and getting back, and they're the lowest of our people as far as economically. They have nothing else living. They talking about going from paycheck to paycheck, and that bus gets them from paycheck to paycheck, and they have no other time to do anything else. I mean, I know I'm not making myself clear, but they have to wait sometimes as much as 2 hours to get that bus. 2 hours in getting back home, and there's just no time left in the day.
Yeah, so it take 2 hours waiting on the bus.
Getting back
working
home
8
too.
hours, and then another 2 hours, and so that's a 12-hour day.
And that's the reason they're not taking more time to come to a transit meeting. I mean, first of all, they just don't feel like it. There's no motivation. And then they're not assured of a victory, a transit victory, if they do come. I understand why they don't do it. It's not that I have anything against them for not doing it, because I understand why they don't have any motivation.
Yeah, I can understand that too.
So that's the reason I was, as I mentioned a while ago, I don't know how to put that spark behind them, because they have never experienced victory. All they have seen since 1972 or but thereabouts, when Max was formed, is defeat. As you asked me about the decrease in routes, that's all they have ever seen and ever known. And nobody can promise them it's going to change. Even if they do, even if somebody was to promise them a transit union to turn it around.
Right.
And I'm so different from the people who do ride the bus now. And number one, even though I have seen more than most of them when it comes to the transit story, I don't work. I'm on Social Security disability, so I am getting an income of that way, and I have way more time. I'm not of the same color as most of them. But because of what I did see in my life and grew up on the western side of town, I've been extremely lucky in that I have been able to assimilate with them,
Right.
the black people, extremely well.
Yes, you sure have. Exemplary example of what that means and how to do that. We love you for it. Thank you. Yes.
And I don't know how much they would trust me in trying to, because of the differences I just mentioned, how much they would trust me into bringing them together, into leading them towards a union like that.
Right.